Okay, so today's question. Are furries gay? I only recently started exploring the topic of furries in my video content. I've been looking into several aspects of the fandom, but one thing that keeps coming up over and over again is a strong overlap between the furry community and the LGBTQ community. And this brings us to the inevitable question that is forcing itself to be asked. Are furries gay? Now, I've been asking this question as part of my regular furry interviews, and here are a few of the responses that I got.
Honestly, in the furry community, the majority of the people in this fandom are of the LGBTQ variety. Furry and LGBTQ, regardless intentionally or not, are like intertwined. There's just a lot of different people on here, and most of them so happen to be on the LGBT spectrum. I'm straight myself, but most of my friends are either trans, gay, all kinds of on the sexual spectrum. It just goes hand in hand.
I'm not a part of that at all. I'm straight. That's just me. But I don't know. It's just people's like choice and living. So I don't really care.
I'm a part of it. I am bi, but also I support it no matter what. I am also poly, but I'm going slowly out of that because I realize sticking with one person is better than sticking with multiple. Okay, so I am a part of the LGBTQ community. I currently don't identify as anything, like as in I don't care what anyone calls me. I am gender neutral, so anyone can call me anything that they want. I don't care. I personally say I don't exist. That's all I say. I don't exist. I'm just a thing. I'm just a thing in a world.
Yes, I think like a lot of the people that I meet on here that are furries and stuff, they are usually gay.
Most of the males in this like community are part of the LGBTQ plus community, and they're we absolutely they pinpoint that. It's either they pinpoint trans people or they pinpoint people a part of the LGBT. They pinpoint them, you know.
I've seen it, but I think it's just because the furry community is like really open. We just kind of get a little bit of everyone, but primarily I would say it is LGBTQ plus, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be. Yeah, I would say it makes up most of the community.
I know that a lot of the LGBTQ community is good, like a majority of a connection to our furry community. Like not all furries are LGBT, and not all LGBT are furries, obviously. But there is a crossover, huge crossover where yes, they are both. But again, that's more the creativity side than the belief side, where LGBT, they want to come into this creative space to show themselves, their own personal identities, which is what furries are known for. We're known for our own identities, our own creativity, our own thoughts, our own systems of how things should work. Like in our social brains, because that's another thing, is neurodiversity is also huge. And for the same reasons, because of the creativity and the identity you can show without having to show you. If that makes any sense.
So my question at the beginning of the video, are furries gay, is really just kind of a joke. But the real question is there a strong overlap between the furry community and the LGBTQ community? And if so, why? Well, the answer to the first part of the question is, well, yeah, there is a strong overlap between these two communities. It seems that more than half of the furries that I spoke with identify as somewhere in the LGBTQ spectrum, which is much higher than the rest of society, no matter how many polls you compare it to. Even those furries that did say that they were straight were quick to point out that most of the people in the fandom were LGBTQ something. And if you don't believe me, believe the Google. Google suggests that only 10% of furries identify as straight, while the remaining 90% fit somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum. And what's also interesting is that a few of the furries that I interviewed suggested that the overlap may be due to a shared desire to express identity through creativity, and that those are the things that these two groups have in common the most, creativity and the need to express identity. And what's even more interesting is that the Google confirmed this as well, suggesting that, quote, The creative aspects of creating a persona appeal to people who feel limited by their ability to express their gender identity in daily life, unquote. Wow, that's actually quite a statement for the Google, but I think there really might be a lot of truth to that. I wonder, how different is a fursuit from drag? I'm really not sure. Drop a comment below. And I think another reason just comes down to members of those communities feeling a shared sense of safety and acceptance. And here again, the Google confirms with many LGBTQ furries suggesting that the fandom had become a vital safe haven for them. So, back to my question from the start of the video. Are furries gay? Well, apparently yes, most of them are. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, there is a very strong overlap there. Perhaps it's an overlap based on a shared need for creativity, identity, and self-expression, or perhaps it's an overlap based on the need to find acceptance by a group that's focused on safety while expressing personal identity. But also, there's one more aspect of the overlap that I want to mention as well. And it's an aspect that I didn't hear any of the interviewees mention, nor was it mentioned by the Google. I think that one of the many stereotypes held by the LGBTQ community is that they usually know how to dance. Yeah, usually they got moves. Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen furries under the moonlight? Well, anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. I am Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.